again. Thanks for your time. Gentlemen, what I want to do this morning is I want to talk to you about how my medium can benefit you and benefit your clients as well. But first, I want to give you a gift. I know, I'll back the tears. It's just a little token gesture. It's my business card. One for you. And Chris, one for you. Thank you. During the presentation, what I'm going to do is I will actually ask you a couple of questions which will help me to specifically focus in on your day-to-day business and how I can better meet your clients' needs. What I'll also be doing is using overheads during the presentation and talking about some key points as well. And I will have one handout for you, which is mainly just an example to show you a client that has achieved some fantastic results with our papers. And finally, what I will do is I will leave you with an informational kit, which will actually give you a breakdown of the papers that we look after. And I will also leave you with our national booklet, which will cover some of the points that I'm talking about this morning, but also serve as a little bit of a directory in terms of the papers that we represent, and also give you some research examples, which I'll also be focusing on later in the presentation. So, these are our papers. Basically, we circulate from Coomera and Beenleigh in the south, all the way up to Caboolture and Ryby in the north. As you can see by the map, each paper is colour-coded, and the objective of that paper is to serve that immediate area, that immediate population and that immediate community. So, the benefits of suburban newspapers for your clients. We will have some time at the end for some questions, so if you would like to write them down during the presentation, I'm quite happy to address those at the end of it. I was actually going to put the lotto, there's so many numbers up for the lotto, but I don't have them, so I'm sorry, I'll stick with this. So, it's a pretty tough time out there at the moment. It's tough economic conditions, our clients' budgets have been driven down, we're looking for cost-effective alternatives, we're looking for mediums that can give us impact and effective reach. But in order for me to tell you a little bit more about our papers, what I'd like to do first is perhaps just focus on some of the social changes that have taken place in the last decade. And that'll help us to see what sort of shifts have occurred and how that's impacted media and the choices that we make for our clients. Are you familiar with Hugh Mackay at all? One of Australia's most well-known social researchers. Some of the points that I'm going to mention are his, and we have actually also commissioned him to do a study for us, which was the image, the role and reputation of suburban newspapers, which I'll touch on later as well. So what I've done this as is maybe looking at the old ways and the new ways of how our society has changed. So if we have a look at the 80s, Hugh tells us that the 80s was very materialistic. There was a lot of things to be got, there was a lot of things to be had. He also tells us that they were very good times. They were excessive, there was lots of money to have, and that basically people built 6-foot fences. We really didn't care about what was going on with anyone else with the world. We're only concerned about our own backyard. The new ways, in the 90s, the recession hit us, pretty tough times, and we've seen the impact of that with our clients. We had our highest rate of unemployment. And basically people felt like they had lost control of their lives, and they were looking for a stronger connection with the community, a return to traditional values, and an attitude of being back to basics or getting back to basics. So if we look at how the society has changed and basically how our consumers have changed, let's now have a look at how that's actually impacted media, more specifically community newspapers. I know you might be thinking that community newspapers are still at a point where they're used to wrap vegetable scraps, that they're not really retained, but things have definitely changed. So, the image, the role and the reputation of suburban newspapers. What I've done is just listed 3 key points. Our papers now act as a door into the local community. They are a link into that community, and they play a very vital role in that community. They enhance readers' sense of being in control. So people feel that they can make a contribution to their community, they can make a difference, they can be a part of that community. Something that is also interesting is that we are a safe medium. We are something for the entire family. They can all read the paper. There's no problem with that. So that's how our papers have changed. How about our clients? How have our clients changed? Chris, if I could ask you just to give me an example of one or two of the clients that you're working on at the moment.
ANZ Bank.
ANZ Bank. What is about this year, if that's okay?
And ICQ.
OCQ. Okay. Because what do these clients expect from their advertising? What are they expecting from their media today? What are they looking for? What are you looking for when you're planning their schedules?
ANZ are wanting to get a firm sense of security within their marketplace because of a lot of changes within the banking area.
Financial institutions, yes, it's
They want to
shifted a lot, hasn't it?
They want to have a heavy presence because they want to be shown as solid in the marketplace. They're not going to disappear in a hurry because they're looking to show that there's a sense of security there for their customers.
Have they lost that sense of security? Just looking at the social changes that had taken place, do you feel that banks have lost their security over the last sort of 10 years? People don't have the same connection with banks that they once had?
Probably not, because there's a lot more push towards the electronic side of banking. People don't have to go in and face the bank manager anymore, and there's a lot more options out there. But there's also been a lot of people are feeling unsafe with the way banks because of all the changes and shifts and some of the bankrupt, etc.
Okay. What are some other things that you're looking for when you're planning your media?
We're looking at greater reach.
Reach?
So we're looking for quite a broad market because the products are very, because there are a lot of different products that we're promoting all the time. We're wanting to present ANZ as a firm bank and then attaching the products to that.
When you talk about their specific products, are they catered to specific types of people? Do you have, I suppose, retirement packages, financial packages available for an older bracket? Then do you try to push perhaps a different product for a younger bracket?
Yes, there are packages targeted towards people, but a lot of them are. There are ones that they are targeted, but then there are ones that.
So you really need to have probably a little bit of both. You need to have, I suppose, a mass reach situation for branding, I guess, and then you would probably have to have some targeted campaigns as well. So we need to add to that. We need some targeting. Speaking more specifically about that, when we target, what do we need it to be?
What do you mean?
Cost-wise. Does it need to be effective? Is that important for you?
Of course, yeah. We want to correct people as much as possible.
So you don't want to be looking at a lot of things that are really wasted in terms of wasted circulation or the wrong programming. You really want to fine-tune it to a specific demographic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to be cost-effective as well. I have actually got a couple of points that I've obtained from just general feedback from other clients that I'd like to share with you as well. In terms of what we expect. Because what's the thing that you're looking for when you're planning media personally yourself?
Reach, the audience reach, and most cost-effective means.
Does it have to be easy? Do you find it difficult if it's complicated? To buy it, to plan it, to get information? So you need it to be easy to buy or plan. These are some of the things that I've heard quite regularly from clients. Yeah, they're advertising to get us results. No one wants to put money into something that's not going to achieve our objectives. It needs to be reaching the audience that we need to reach, as you mentioned, which is my next point. It has to have effective reach. It also has to be cost effective, which is another point that you mentioned, Chris, and it has to be easy to plan and easy to buy. So that's what we're expecting, that's what our clients are expecting. So how can we fit into that mix? How can suburban newspapers help you in that manner? What I'd like to do is just pinpoint some of our strengths. Okay, suburban newspapers are community focused. We are all about being a part of the community. With a client like ANZ, you're talking about reach, you're talking about establishing security, getting back to that community, being a part of that local community, could be a vital opportunity for someone like ANZ. One of our greatest strengths is that we are target marketers. We have the ability to target either geographically or demographically. So again, someone like ANZ, we can focus just on covering branches. If you want to do that, we can use papers to target those immediate areas. Or alternatively, if you have special packages that you wish to promote that are a specific type of demographic, we can pinpoint where those particular people live and perhaps just look at using that mix of papers. By doing that, one of our other greatest strengths is that it will be cost effective for you. So we're eliminating all the wastage, we're not using papers where we typically know people aren't there that we need to reach, and we're not wasting our message. So, looking at those strengths, the benefits naturally are the opportunity for localisation to be a part of the community, as I said, effective reach and eliminating wastage, targeting your audience, and being very easy to plan and easy to buy. You will have one point of contact, which will be me. I'm quite happy to source any amount of research for you, whether it is geographic, whether we're looking at population, whether we're looking at a specific type of reader. Quite happy to do a schedule up for you that's cost effective and meets your requirements in terms of your budget specifications. But we can talk about this all day. What you want to hear or what you want to see is a proven example. I thought I'd talk to you a little bit this morning about Woolworths. Quite familiar with Woolworths? Very large retailer, very large chain. Probably got quite a substantial budget actually. I think they're doing particularly well in this current time. So why would they want to use suburban newspapers? They can use the Courier Mail, they can use television, they can use catalogues. One very, very important reason. Our papers give them the opportunity to wear a credible, a local and a recognisable face. I have a handout for you which will show you the example. What Woolworths do with our papers is they still have their mass media because that gives them another end of the market. What they do with our papers, which is unique, is they really tap into that local community. What they do is they run a photograph of the local store manager in that particular paper, which gives people a face to the business. They're not just another retailer, they are pushing product and price. We've got to get the product sold to actually achieve the results. But we're also talking about what's happening in that community. So we're focusing in on what Woolworths are doing for that community, what they're doing for their staff. We're giving them a very good human face and putting them in front of that community. So, in conclusion, suburban newspapers can achieve your expectations. We can do some great things with ANZ in terms of reach, in terms of targeting, making it cost effective for them, which I've put down there as well. And finally, what we would ideally like you to do, and what I think we've proven to you that we can do, is put them on the schedule. So, what I'd like to do, Chris, if you can spare 2 minutes of your time, is to talk more specifically about a brief for ANZ. I'd like to get to know their business a little bit better, and I'd like the opportunity to go away and present something that is a great opportunity for that client. Can you spare 2 minutes? Great, thank you. Here's your book and your handout that I'll leave you with.
Thank you.
And Mike, I'd also like to talk to you as well about some of your clients and how we can work in with you. Can you spend some time after Chris for a couple of minutes to talk about some of your clients? Yes? Excellent.